Hey, welcome to the Orange and Black Insider post-game show, Week 5 post-game show. The Bengals defeated the Arizona Cardinals on the road 34-20 in a game that I think makes everyone should be just jumping for joy. All Bengals fans should be jumping for joy because they finally looked a little bit like, not a little bit, they looked a lot of it like we've expected them to since the end of the season last year. So obviously I'm not Anthony Cosenza. Baby. Yeah, we're back. Obviously I'm not Anthony Cosenza, and obviously that's not John Sheeran. I'm Jason. That's Kevin. We're the hosts of You're not Kevin. Yeah, no, you're Kevin. We're the hosts of 3 and Out, also on the Orange and Black Insider. Anthony, since he lives out on the West Coast, finally got a chance to go down to Arizona and see that game in person. So I'm glad he got to see a winner. So we are going to step up and be the hosts for the evening for the Bengals post-game show. I see some comments coming in here, and we'll get some of those up and address those. But I'm just going to say my first thoughts coming out of the game are I'm just relief, just a sigh of relief, a little bit of weight taken off my shoulders, like I'm somehow personally responsible for how the Bengals do. Although when they do lose, I take it that way. I take it like I'm somehow personally responsible. But they came out, the offense looked good right away. They went down and they scored their first half touchdown in week 5, which is insane. Then they went down again, and they ended up settling for a field goal. And then they, had a couple, Kevin and I were texting. They had a couple drives where they ended 3 and out, stuff like that. And,
they
got back in rhythm. Yeah, but then they got back in rhythm. And then in the second half, the first drive of the second half, 60-something, 63 maybe yard bomb to Jamar Chase.
We ain't seen that in a while,
have we? It's been a long time. It has been a long time. I was on my feet.
I was whooping and hollering. I was so excited, dude. It feels like a long time since we've seen that.
Yep, it has been a long time since that play. And that was one of those things. I think after that moment, I didn't sit back down. Because then you had the sense, hey, it's happening. We're back. We're back. And the possibility of going into the bye week 3-3 is real. It's very real.
Very real. Very real.
So just, the game ended, like an hour ago? Hour and a half ago, something like that. Just after an hour and a half or however long it's been, just tell me how you feeling. Just where are you at heading into Sunday night football?
Insanely optimistic. Probably too optimistic. I mean, I'll probably go back and I'll probably have some critiques. That's not to say there's anything that bad to critique. There's definitely some stuff they could tighten up. But man, we needed this. You know what I mean? That's just where I'm at. I'm not going to let myself get down about it until farther down the line when we're trying to review, look at the Seahawks, see what we need to tighten up. This was a decisive win. The defense showed up when they had to. The offense looked good. Burrow actually was back there doing Burrow stuff. You know what I mean? He was moving. He was extending plays. He was winning with his feet when he had to. He looked not 100%, but he looked 80%. He looked 85%.
Yeah.
He looked good. He actually looked pretty good. And it's a massive change from the last time we saw him on that field. So what can you do but be optimistic, man? What can you do but be excited?
I know. We Bengals fans are like a fickle group because last week we were all lined up on the ledges of the tall buildings in Cincinnati looking for the hardest place to land. And now it's fine. It's fine. It's always been fine. We're fine.
We knew they were going to come back. We knew they were going to turn it around.
We were just standing up here as a joke. Yeah.
I will openly admit I did not think it would be night and day like it was. I thought it would
No.
be a little more gradual. I thought this game was going to look a lot rougher. I still thought we had a good chance of winning, but I thought it was going to be a hard win, and it really wasn't. By the
No.
time we got to that second half, we had it well in hand, beginning to end. There was really no sense that you were stopping us. No sense you might even get close. It was fun. It
That
was fun
long
football, man.
that long pass play from Burrow to Chase to open the second half seemed to me like the defining moment. Like if they do something miraculous this year, you know, and you look back at the season as what was the defining moment, and you have these like LeBron James chase down block, you know what I mean, up in
Sure.
Cleveland. When I think of the defining moment of the season, I'm going to think of that pass. Like that's when I saw, hey, they're back,
Yep.
and everything's going to be okay. So just go over some stats.
That was the
Sorry, go ahead.
fun defining moment, but to me, because I agree with what you're saying. Like in my heart, that was the moment. The first time we saw Burrow scramble, when he scrambled, extended play, and then made that touchdown pass to Jamar Chase. Come on, man, he's back. It was just, I don't know how else to put it. It was really fun, man. I've been really needing an actual good game from these guys, and once we got it, I think we all kind of knew the tone was going to shift. I think we're going to go in to face Seahawks. I think we're going to whoop them. I really do. I'm being overly optimistic. I don't care. I'm not going to let analytics or anything else take this away. We as a franchise, we as a fan base needed this, man, and we should all just be excited for right now.
Oh, you absolutely should be. You're absolutely right. So I'm going to show, let's see. Show a little bit of the box score here. So, so 34-20, the Bengals, they didn't have a single period or a single quarter. They didn't score 10-7, 7-10. Joe Burrow, 36 for 46, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And that interception was kind of a weird thing. Trenton Irwin fell down. So you can't really lay the blame at his feet for that one. 108.1 passer rating. Super exciting. I do want to note that the 3 sacks he took were all 3 on third down in passing situations. So that,
and we know how Burrow feels about third down sacks. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's what it
Joe
is.
Mixon. Yeah. No, I know. I hear you. Joe Mixon, 25 carries, kind of the bell cow. Not great. He had a long of 10, but 3.2 yards per carry. He's the only guy. So one other carry by one running back, and that's Travion Williams. We haven't seen Chris Evans. I think he was on the field maybe a little bit this week. But the big story of the game, obviously, is Jamar Chase. 15 catches, which is a team record, 192 yards, which is not a team record because he owns the team record. 3 touchdowns.
What was it?
It's 266. I looked it up before we started, and that was from the Chiefs game in 2021. Trent Irwin, a huge game for him. 8 catches, 60 yards. I kind of figured that Tyler Boyd got work. He had 6 catches for 39 yards. But I kind of figured that Tyler Boyd would be the number 2, and it kind of was Trent Irwin. Irwin, he was there. He played really well. Joe Mixon did get 4 catches here. Andre Josevich got his first catch of his career. Kwame Lassiter, who was activated for this game, had a catch, and then Chase Brown had a catch. And then defense, Jermaine Pratt had a big game, 2 tackles for loss, 10 tackles. It was just an awesome game all around. He had an interception. Cam Taylor-Britt had a pick 6. I didn't even know he was going to play today.
No, I did because I saw the inactives, but I was worried he wasn't going to be able to.
Yeah. And then Trey Hendrickson, 2.5 sacks today. He was a beast again, coming off that edge. He has 6 sacks on the season in 5 games. And he's on pace for a big, like record-breaking franchise sacks for Trey Hendrickson. And then Dax Hill had a half sack. Dax Hill, another game where he was everywhere, just all over the place. So I'm really kind of excited about going back, and I want to watch this game again. And I want to specifically watch him and see where he was before some defensive snaps, because I think that Lou Anarumo is just moving him around like a Swiss Army knife. Just
I
he's
agree.
going to play here. He's going to do this. He's going to do this, which is great because he's such a great athlete. And you don't want to
Dax
let that
Hill
go
is
to
a
waste.
very
He
good
was
reason to go back
everywhere.
and watch the All 22. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And another guy who was all over the place was DJ Turner. DJ Turner looked really good stepping
It's
in
because
for
he's so
Chobe
fast, man.
Awuzie.
It takes nothing
I
for
know.
him to get on the ball, dude. He is wild fast. I was saying that
Yep.
during this game. I was like, with what Cam Taylor-Britt is turning into, and with DJ Turner's ceiling, I was worried about what our cornerbacks were going to look like coming into the future, and I'm just not concerned anymore. I think
Yeah.
those two are more than capable
Yep.
of taking the reins and running with it. I think it's
Yep.
still going to be a strength of this team.
I'll tell you this right now. DJ Turner, and nothing against Chobe
I like that
Awuzie, but we
comment
know
from Cornell Hope. That makes me laugh.
where's that?
Open like 7-Eleven. You just brought it
Oh
up, or
yeah,
it
yeah,
popped
yeah.
up on the
Oh
screen.
yeah. A secondary with just the outside guys, not including the slot guys, but an outside guy of Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, and then your safeties of Jordan Battle or Nick Scott and Dax Hill. That's an incredibly young and athletic and super potent secondary that I'm very excited about for the future for Cincinnati. So, yeah, it was just all around just a refreshing, awesome game. The defense, they gave up some. Let's see, there were some times they got gashed pretty bad running the ball. Yeah, Rondale. Well, he had one long carry.
Tackling was an
Tackling
issue.
was bad. Yes,
beginning to end. I mean, they cleaned it up at times, but man, if I am Louis Anarumo, it's tackling drills from here till Sunday.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's my only big concern with the defense.
James Conner, 6 carries for 46 yards, 7.7 yards per carry. And he came out of the game. But before he did, he was just absolutely eating them up. And then Amari Demarcado, who I believe was the undrafted rookie free agent, he had 10 carries for 45 yards, 4.5 yards per carry. So the run defense isn't what we were expecting it to be. So far this season, I think they've given up the second most rushing yards heading into this game.
Yeah,
in the NFL. So yeah, it's been a little bit surprising. So yeah, overall though, I mean, just everything improved. And when Joe Burrow plays like Joe Burrow, everything looks better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You see everything through rose-colored glasses. So upon watching this game again tomorrow, I think that I'll see some things from like, I don't like that.
Oh, I'm certain.
But when
Joe
Burrow does Joe Burrow things, it kind of erases those. He's like whiteout.
Awesome. And when the games are back to back like this, night and day, it's like I was saying, I'm not going to overthink this tonight. That's just not my goal tonight. I am going to bask in this victory. I'm going to be excited that they really do seem to be finally figuring out how to get the ball to Jamar Chase. He has been eating. He may be playing some of the best football of his career. He is dominant. Now that they've actually figured out that there's ways to use them other than go deep, Joe Burrow will get it to you.
Yeah.
It's just, not much else to say about that. Just not going to nitpick today. That is not where my head is.
I do want to nitpick a couple things.
Of course, right after I say that.
I know. Just a couple things that I saw, and they're not even really necessarily bad, but this was Irv Smith Jr.'s first game back, and outside of one play that Burrow looked like he was targeting him in the end zone, where whoever was playing against him was called for defensive pass interference. I didn't even know if he was on the field.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, and especially like in a game like today where you would figure, T. Higgins is out, Joe Burrow's going to spread the ball around a little bit more. He didn't have to. Jamar Chase had 15 catches, and Trent Irwin stepped up. We knew that Tyler Boyd would be. He's always there. But I thought, it'll be good to see Irv Smith Jr. really step into this TE1 role, nothing. Crickets.
I am completely, I don't know how to put it. Until he shows me otherwise, I'm done with thinking Irv Smith Jr. might be the answer to anything. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it at all. I know he got hurt, but I'm just not impressed. I've been more impressed with Hudson than I ever was. Irv Smith. It's limited sample size. That doesn't mean I'll feel the same way by the time we get to the end of the season. Sometimes it takes a little time to get the ground to get up to speed. But yeah,
I'd like to see maybe a little bit more Hudson.
I would too.
When Irv Smith is healthy or not, But yeah, so there was that. We talked about the 3 third down sacks. You know what I mean? A thing I really liked. So Andre Yosevich had that one catch, the one he almost had in the end zone. Or no, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been a touchdown, but the one he almost had
the
was
sidelines.
incredible. Oh my gosh, what an incredible catch that would have been! And like I think it might have been Mark Sanchez that said something
I heard
about
this.
if you wear size 10s, if you wore 11s, those would be in, or that would be like
Yeah.
just the extra toe tap or whatever. But it was great. So let's talk a little bit about next week. Not to get away from the Arizona game, because I know that this is the post game show, but the Bengals have an unbelievable opportunity to rebound from a terrible, disastrous start and go into the bye week at 500, which before, that's when the gauntlet of their schedule comes down. But if they could do that, that'd be outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
And based on what I saw on the field, I absolutely think they can.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. If they play the way they played today, clean up a couple things here and there, they absolutely can. But Seattle's tough. Seattle's a real deal. Yeah. They're good. They're going to be a tough team to beat. But they're back at home. They're in the jungle next week. So they need to break out those white helmets. They're undefeated in those white helmets, I think. So we'll see. But even if they don't, let's say they lose a close game next week. How you feeling after seeing this, knowing it can be done? Give them a week in the bye.
So
I mean,
you're saying, how do I feel if they lose a close game next week?
Yeah.
Well, this is the I don't know, coward's answer, but it really does depend on how they lose. If it is good football and they're just outplayed, then I'm okay. I'm fine. Not fine. I'm sad, but I'm not panicking. As long as I see what continues to be an upward trajectory, you know what I mean? If I'm not looking at another, kick a field goal one time in the first half and that's all you end up doing the whole damn game, then I'm upset. But as long as the trend continues to rise, I will be okay-ish. As okay as I can be with a loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. But tonight has changed, or not today, has changed my entire perspective, I think, on this season as a Bengals fan. Like, really, I was very doom and gloom, but I feel much better now. No matter what happens next week, I feel, unless there's some major regression, but I just don't see that happening. You know what I mean?
No.
Once they really got rolling today, especially in the second half, all the momentum was in their favor. And I firmly believe momentum can be carried from one game to another.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, especially coming home off a trip to the West Coast, and just winning on the road in the NFL is hard. It is. It's hard. Good teams go on the road and play bad teams and lose in the NFL all the time. All the time. We just saw the Texans beat somebody. I mean, well, the Texans, there's no team in the NFL that's really bad. These are some of the greatest athletes in the world. But you know what I mean. Good teams go on the road and lose to bad teams all the time. Going on the road and winning, especially losing 3 hours, that's tough. It's tough. They got it done in convincing fashion, which makes me think that there's nobody they can't beat. Nobody.
No, and it's always been that way.
Today,
just
and
how long was it going to take them to get back to that point? That's the hard part. The hard part is waiting. The hard part is we know what this team can be, and we've seen them do it over and over again. So we know what we know they're going to figure it out. But the waiting, the not knowing, going game to game to game to game. What is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the one? And I did the same thing going into this game, going to this Cardinals game. I said, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know what this team's going to look like going in. And they looked night and day difference to the point where I am now confident that we're not going to see another bad performance from this team. They'll lose. They'll lose games. That's just going to happen. But we're not going to be embarrassed of them the way we have been the last couple of weeks. It's going to be good football from here on out, one way or the other.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Now, one thing I do want to say, on Burrow's third sack, did you notice Travion Williams was in? And I think that sack's probably going to be credited to him. But Burrow immediately turned around and looked at him. I don't know what he yelled, but he never does his helmet. That. I know. pointed at his helmet and said something along the lines of "Use your head,"
Yes.
because that was Travion Williams. He should have been able to see that coming and stop that from happening. And I think if Burrow's like completely healthy, maybe he sidesteps that or something. But it's pretty hard to get away from a free rusher up the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I've never seen him do that before.
No, I've never seen him yell at anyone like that. He's usually a very, very even keeled. He'll get frustrated, but almost entirely at himself, and he's let it go within a minute of being on the sidelines usually. So yeah, I noticed that. I was watching my family and everything. I was like, you see Burrow, like he never acts like that.
I think I rewound it just to watch it again because I was so surprised to see it, but it also makes me think, so I talked about the Irv Smith thing. They didn't really do anything at the tight end position. But do they need depth at running back?
Mike McKella? Anyways, Garfield over here. Williams was supposed to take the ball. I agree. That's what I thought was happening.
Okay.
You talked about blocking. You can tell Burrow's like frantically shoving that ball into his midsection, having no idea like why the hell are you not grabbing this thing?
So here's the thing I was going to say is, do they have a depth problem at running back?
I think they absolutely do. I think Chase Brown was supposed to hit the ground running a little better than he has.
Yeah.
Chase Brown also Mixon's playing good ball, so are you mad if Mixon's playing his best ball in years?
Is Mixon playing good ball? 3.2 yards per carry.
Not this game, but last couple
games. Well, I mean, and he's had some games where he's run, I don't want to say run angry, but he's run determined.
Sure.
He's hitting holes harder this year than he did last year. I'd like to see more production. 3.2.
We saw some bad habits come back. Him dancing behind that line of scrimmage, trying to find that perfect route. Then when it doesn't come, he ends up just getting a yard or getting tackled for a loss or whatever. Jeffrey Rice, trust problem at RB. Yeah, I think so. I mean, we saw Travion Williams drop the ball by not getting the ball. And I think Chase Brown has not been what they've expected him to be. I still think he has a pretty decent ceiling. I think he could become it.
Yeah.
But he's clearly not ready to take significant snaps.
Right. So I definitely think that the two positions on offense that I don't want to say ignored, but were kind of ignored were tight end and running back. Now, those are maybe just positions we've seen what the NFL overall has done to the running back position. Like nobody values that position very much. You know what I mean? So the Bengals wouldn't be unique if they were like, we're not going to spend a bunch of money or a bunch of effort at running back, because nobody really does. Running backs are kind of getting bounced around all over the place. Tight end is different. I mean, there's some tight ends, obviously, and they're rare, but there's some tight ends that completely change the game. You know what I mean? They didn't. With the number 28 pick with Michael Mayer sitting on the board, I kind of thought that's what they would do. They didn't. They went with Miles Murphy, which is a thing they did,
Yep.
Again, I want to watch this game again. I don't know if Murphy really did anything. I don't know. I'm kind of anxious to see what the snap, how many snaps every player took. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm very happy. I'm very happy right now. Very happy. There's nothing to be unhappy about right now. If you're a Bengals fan.
No.
They got out healthy. You imagine T. Higgins comes back next week? But that's what I'd love to see, I think. And if he misses one more game.
With the way Irwin was playing, if T ain't good to go, I'm good with him sitting. Let's be honest, he's been kind of hit or miss in the beginning of the season anyways.
Right.
So is the whole team, so I'm not putting it just entirely on him. But he's
a lot of it's on Burrow, but
Yeah, he's looked rough. Get him healthy, get his head right, come out of the bye swinging.
Yeah. But if he does not come back next week, it's not a huge deal. Not a big deal. I think that they'll be okay. But yeah, I would like to see T. Higgins and Joe Burrow get back on track. And then once that happens, good luck. Good luck, because they're clicking. And I do want to say something. Cam Taylor-Britt, I didn't even know he was going to play today.
Love him.
Yeah, I had no idea he was going to play today. But he played outstanding.
He always does,
but that pick six, beautiful.
He is
'Cause the
he's
offense
not a
just
perfect player, but he is better every single game.
Yeah.
And that guy makes a play on the ball every chance he gets. The energy that man brings is something this team thrives on. He is very quickly becoming one of my favorite players on the team just by the
Yep.
way he plays ball, how physical he is, how energetic he is. He's always trying to make a play on that ball. I am a huge. He's probably gonna. It's tied between a couple different people, but Cam Taylor Britt I think is going to be my next jersey. I
I
just
thought
love the
about
way
it.
he plays ball.
This is my new one.
Logan Wilson. I
My
mean, yeah, you
birthday.
can't go wrong,
Yeah.
man. You can't go
With the
wrong.
extension. Yeah. So, he almost had a pick today. There were almost 3 interceptions. He almost had one today, right in and out
Yep.
of his hands. But yeah, just there, minus a couple of things here, like the run defense, couple bad, sacks on third down. Joe Mixon not averaging a ton of yards per carry. Other than that, everything was great compared
Yep.
to how it had been. It was borderline perfect.
Yep.
What else do you think, man? Got any other thoughts?
No, not off the top of my head. I saw somebody reference that we need a change of pace back, like Gio. I completely agree. I think that was meant to be Chase Brown. I think it could still be, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I am still a believer. I still think Chase Brown could be an excellent running back for this team. I'm on record for really, really liking that pick, but he has absolutely fallen short of expectations. And until he steps up, I think it's Mixon. I think it's Mixon one way or the other. He is taking too many snaps though. That's unsustainable across the long term.
Yeah. I mean,
despite how, regardless of if he plays good or not.
Right. Today he had 25 carries, 4 receptions. I don't know how many snaps he took in the game, but he seemed to be in almost every snap on offense.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that to one play. You got to spread it around a little bit. You don't want to get him hurt. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Running back is a grind of a position.
Oh,
you got to limit snaps where you can, man, especially if you're RB1.
Yep. But yeah, Cam Taylor Britt, I just one other thing. It seemed to be perfect timing because the Bengals just went for it on 4th down, missed. You know what I mean? And then Cam Taylor Britt turns around. He's like, "Oh, I got it. I got it. Don't worry about it."
They wanted that ball back.
Yeah.
Oh, that touchdown you missed out on. I got that right here.
Yeah, I got it.
Don't worry, I found it.
Yep. Pretty awesome. I think that about does it for us. I don't know really what else to say other than that.
What are your thoughts on DJ Turner? DJ Turner's first actual start.
He looks really good. He looked really good. Yeah.
He whiffed on a tackle or two, but that was a team-wide problem. Sometimes I feel like that speed, he comes in like a missile and he doesn't quite know when to pull back. That could be a good problem to have as long as he gets smarter about it. But yeah, for our first start, honestly, he looked good, man. He looked good.
That's why I love the future of that position with Cam Taylor Britt and DJ Turner. I love it. Absolutely love it. You got one. I mean, they both can be physical, but one hammer on one side and then, speedster
hammer
on the
and a
other.
Scalpel. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, yeah, man, I think that pretty much does it from this side, right? I mean,
I think that's about covers as far as initial reactions. I guarantee I'm going to have a lot more opinions on it after a second or third rewatch, especially defense. Defense is so hard to judge if you're not looking at just wider angles, like just kind of at least quick glance at the all 22, just to figure out like what you're seeing. Defense on both sides of the ball. A lot of times I don't even know what went wrong on some plays because you just can't see what the defense is doing. But yeah, my final takeaway would be the way they're using Jamar Chase needs to be Jamar Chase from here on out. I don't care if anybody disagrees. This is the Jamar Chase of the future. He is deadly with the way they've been using him. He has to scare the hell out of defenses because he is all over that field. He's deep when he needs to be, but if not, just feed him. Just feed him. He's going to make the catches. He's going to get extra yards. He's going to turn a 10-yard play into a 15 or a 15 into a 20. This is what he's been doing every time this offense functions even kind of.
Yes, he did come
Pratt
back
on
in
the
game.
ground scared me. He came back into the game correct. I actually don't know.
I think he came
He
back
was
in.
wandering around. He was wandering around the sidelines. He looked okay. But you say he came back?
I think so, yeah.
I thought
Yeah, I'm
so
pretty
too,
sure he
but I
came
didn't
back
want to
in.
say for certain. But he looked okay. He looked shaken up.
Yeah.
He looked rattled, but he did not look overly hurt when I saw him on the sidelines.
Yeah. I'm just pumped, man. I'm pumped.
Mhm.
This is the first real, I mean, there were other positive steps. This was the first real big positive step. And I did want to say, you brought up, Jamar Chase is deadly. There used to be, a couple different types of wide receivers. You had a speed guy, your deep threat, that he was your home run hitter. He's not he maybe he has 4 catches in a game, but those 4 catches go for 90 yards and a touchdown. You know what I mean? And then you have your possession guy, your TJ Hushmanzada, that he's going to have 9 catches for 75 yards, no touchdowns. And then you have your slot guy. Jamar Chase does all of that.
Yes, he does.
Jamar Chase does it all, just like Justin Jefferson does it all. You know what I mean? He's a rare breed. Those are both generational guys. They just happen to be playing together at the same time. And they happen to be at school together in college,
Yeah.
which is insane. So, but yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything on first view. And yeah, on first view, we've pretty much covered everything. So again, we're on the Orange and Black Insider. It's not just us, it's OBI. It's our show, 3 and Out. Again, Anthony and John aren't here tonight. Anthony went to the game because he's on the West Coast. So happy that he got to go see a winner. But we're Kevin and I host 3 and Out, so we're on OBI. It's Chalk Talk. It's Talking Football with Bengal Jim and Friends, and it's obviously OBI with Anthony and John. So hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that stuff. We're on YouTube and anywhere you can find podcasts, we're there too. So, again, thank you very much. Super excited we got to do the post-game show for the first just great win of the season. Not just the first win, but the first really good win. Yeah, he gave away a good one. He chose a bad one to give away.
This job is so much easier after a good performance, man. It gets so hard to just talk about like the little tiny bright spots and to try not to be just a bummer with everything you say. Like that one play they did in the second half. I mean, that one play that if they could just do that 15 times, that would be pretty good. It gets hard, man. These winners, these winning games, they make this a lot easier. It makes it a lot more fun.
Much easier, much more fun. So again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for participating, putting up your comments on here. We'll be back again. I'm sure at some point doing a live show for post game.
Oh, yeah.
And Who Day.
Who Day.